The Drug Enforcement Administration, DEA, recently renovated its museum. This museum collects, preserves, and shares the stories of Americans' connection to drugs, including the public policy, federal law enforcement, and the work of DEA employees around the world. Originally debuted in 1999, it has been reimagined to engage and educate the public in a colorful, contemporary space. It reopened November 4, 2021. The museum is in Arlington, Virginia. The new museum exhibits focus on people, stories, and the science behind today's federal drug law enforcement. It does this through innovative learning environments, which include interactive on-site exhibits, over 40 hands-on activity stations, and 180 artifacts. The DEA website museum provides a rich source of fascinating information. Under the collections section of the website are stories behind the artifacts on display, such as the green platform shoes that a special agent wore during an undercover investigation of a cocaine ring in the 1970s, and the Medellin cartel's kingpin Pablo Escobar's death mask. Sections of the museum are devoted to highlighting the variety of tasks the agency undertakes. Several displays highlight special agents, forensic examiners, diversion investigators, that means how drugs are used in a recreational context, and the intelligence research specialist. There are displays that allow you to go on a virtual mission or test your investigative skills to imagine yourself in a role, for example, as a forensic examiner. Throughout the museum, there is an emphasis on why every job matters at DEA. Drug use in the United States changes as technology, medicine, and society changes as well. Interactive displays are helpful in understanding how different drugs are produced. Throughout the exhibits, there are touchscreens to provide timelines to explore the histories of opioids, marijuana, cocaine, synthetic drugs that are used throughout the country. There are several exhibits that focus on the science of addiction. Displays highlight the science behind addictive drugs by studying their molecular structure, identifying risk factors, and seeing how different drugs affect the body. Since addiction is known to be a problem, the museum devotes space to treatment, recovery, and prevention stories and encourages being an agent of change to help more Americans live a drug-free life. Space in the museum is devoted to a historical perspective of the U.S. effort to deal with illicit drugs. The story predates the 1973 formation of DEA. Federal law enforcement efforts date back into the 1800s. Interesting artifacts are on display gathered by DEA's predecessor agencies. Perhaps the most interesting exhibits are the rotating spotlight exhibits that highlight noteworthy moments in DEA's history. This year's spotlight, Taking Down El Chapo, details the capture and conviction of Joaquin El Chapo, head of the Sinaloa cartel and one of the most dangerous drug traffickers. On display are original courtroom drawings of El Chapo's trial, his prison uniform, and gilded weapons confiscated by DEA agents in the field. In the lobby of the building housing the museum are two poignant exhibits. The Wall of Honor is an unforgettable part of U.S. history of drug enforcement. This newly commissioned exhibit portrays agents who have lost their lives in the service of DEA or a predecessor agency. The Wall of Honor is housed in a dignified brass display area with an interactive kiosk that shares the stories of each hero. Lining the walls of the lobby is the Faces of Fentanyl display. It was created in memory of the many lives lost to fentanyl overdoses. Among the faces is a reminder that May 10th is the National Fentanyl Awareness Day. A visit to the museum is a worthy educational experience.